And welcome everybody, Brother Dan Goodwin here, and Dr. Charles Hilterbitter with me. This is Prophecy in the Spotlight. Doc, this week we're going to be talking about something very important.
Very important.
What in the world is going on?
Yes, sir.
And
a lot of questions.
Have you ever seen such a crazy time in your life?
No, I've thought about it, taught about it, preached about it, but now we're living it. It's a little hard to acclimate to.
We were talking off camera a little while ago about, we've been talking about, you said you've been preaching 55 years and you've been preaching that this was coming.
Yeah.
But now that it's here, you can't believe it.
There's something about our human nature that once reality sets in, it's like, wow, this is what I've been talking about.
Yeah. And for instance, the coronavirus thing, and they're talking about vaccines now.
Yes.
Of course, we predicted this, that they'd find a way to try to maybe not force you, but make it very uncomfortable not to get it. In other words, they'll keep you from some privileges if you don't have the vaccine.
Well, the one world order is all about their government over your life, and who would have thought 8-9 months ago that our world would be so quickly acclimated for what we've been talking about coming for years.
And we know that this is not the mark of the beast, obviously, because that doesn't even show up till the middle of the tribulation.
But it's certainly the roadmap to it.
It is. And we always would think, well, why would anybody take the mark of the beast?
Yeah.
Well, why? We can see now.
We think about the mark of the beast because we look at it academically as all of this happens right in the middle of the tribulation period. But the roadmap or the setting for it had to come before that, and that's what I believe we are seeing, the setting of the stage, that by that time it won't be difficult.
Now, the globalists are not secret about what this is about.
No, not secret at all.
They're having public meetings. They're talking about the global reset. We did 2 shows on that.
The socialists of the world are, and of America.
And if we keep borrowing money like we are, we're going to need a reset.
Well, that's one of the selling points that'll be for the elected officials. I mean, we're not the only one. All of the nations of the world are in trouble, way underwater when it comes to their.
And when they promise debt forgiveness for the world, who's gonna say no to that?
Well, the stage began way back under FDR and all of that, back when they done away with the actual monetary value behind it. Instead, we'll just let the United States government be behind this fiat money. Yeah. Well, the stage began being set there.
Yep, they took off the backing of the money. There's nothing backing it up. It's just
nothing but the promise of the government.
Yeah, and the promise of the government's pretty shallow these
It
days.
looks like it is right now.
Yeah, and so we're going to set the stage. We're going to do a show for CTN for television. It'll also be on YouTube, of course. But we're going to talk about some things going on in the world, and we're going to ask the question: what in the world is going on?
Yes.
Now, I wrote about this, and I've done some articles about it, and I've got 3 things. I'm sure we could come up with many more.
I'm sure we could.
We've agreed on 3 main things that are really going on, and we want to get this to the audience to help them, because I think people are a little nervous. I think people are distraught. I think a lot of people are looking around saying just what I'm saying. What's going on?
Well, you say distraught. I read a statistics this week. They've had 1 more suicide this year in St. Louis than they've had die of coronavirus.
More people died of suicide.
1 more than in coronavirus. Suicides.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No surprise there, though, is it? We predicted that, too.
And they have no hope, because you and I, as a believer, we understand these things are the stage setting for something coming, but what's really coming is after we're out of here.
So let's just go ahead and share these 3 things and then we're going to get into these in detail in the show. But
amen.
Basically, 3 things are going on. Number 1, the world is being prepared for the return of Jesus Christ to get His bride.
Amen.
And we're going to talk about that in the show. We're going to talk about the Jewish wedding a little bit, and how a young man got his bride in Bible days, and how that applies prophetically to Christ coming for His bride. Right. And there's some things that have to be in place if there's a wedding coming, right? True. Obviously, there's some things got to be in place. Secondly, there's the world is also being prepared for the arrival of the Antichrist and his kingdom.
Yes.
which will happen as soon as we're out of here.
That's what the greater majority of the world's looking for right now.
Yes,
Yes.
and we'll spend most of our time in the show talking about that. The Antichrist coming on the scene, what's going to take place, how the whole world comes together, both religiously and politically.
Mm-hmm.
And see, when you understand these things, I think you can sleep better at night. When
Sure.
you realize, oh, now I know what's going on. Hey, actually, this is good news because
Yeah.
it means we're out of here.
We're
pretty
closer to
soon.
being out of here.
And,
Yes.
of course, the third thing that we're not going to spend much time on because we're going to do a whole show on it, and that's the world is being prepared for God's final Jubilee.
Amen.
That's the 70th Jubilee from Moses,
Right.
120th from Adam, if you want to look at the 6,000-year
Yes.
earth, 120 Jubilees in a 6,000-year period of time. So it's really a pretty big deal, though. The
It
Jubilee is all about property. And on the Jubilee, the property would go back to the original owner.
Yes, sir.
Well, on that final Jubilee, it's God's Jubilee. And I believe Christ comes on that white horse on a Jubilee year, on the day of Jubilee, on the Day of Atonement. And I believe he'll have in his hand the title deed to planet Earth
Amen.
that he has taken back from
So
Satan.
that's kind of what we talked about on the last show about the millennial reign and God's reset. He's resetting it for that
right.
Jubilee. He's going to take it back. He's in control.
Boy, that's quite
He's
a
gonna rule and
reset.
reign. Yes.
Yeah.
Much more than the world thinks
Yeah.
they're going to do right now.
Yeah, and he's going to not only take it back, he's going to rule it
Rule it.
from Jerusalem.
You know, it'd be nice if we could have experienced that on this side, what it'd be like to live without the tempter.
Yeah.
But during that day, they'll live without the tempter, but they'll still be ruled and reigned over with the rod of iron righteousness.
Now let's go ahead and and let the folks know that after this show, we got 2 shows we're doing for Christmas.
Yes.
You want to tell them a little bit
Oh.
about that?
This is my favorite subject is the Christmas story. And so we're going to share a lot of detail from about 40 years of research in this area, rabbinical writings, historical documentation, prophecy, some science, and some other things of that nature as we take a look at some what I call the truths of the Christmas story.
And you have a 3 CD set.
3 CD
And
set.
we're going to promote that. And those are awesome. I've listened to every one of them. And we're going to do 2 shows on some of the things that you've uncovered.
We'd have to do a whole lot of shows to cover all the things that we share in those, even in those 3 CDs.
All right. So you're going to be on the hot seat. I'm going to be asking you questions. And it's great stuff. We're going to talk about the wise men. We're going to talk about the star. We're going to talk about some historical things.
Yes.
Day 4 of the Creative Week and how important that was to
Very
the birth
important.
of Christ.
Yes.
And some fantastic things we're going to talk about there. So, and your CD will be it's on your website.
It's on the website.
And folks, you can go to Prophecy in the Spotlight and click on Dr. Hiltebittel, and it'll take you right to his website, and all of his books and DVDs and CDs are all right there. Okay, well, Doc, we'll shut her down here then, and don't forget, folks, the show is on CTN every Friday night at 7 p.m. Eastern. I believe we're also on Tuesday nights at 11 p.m. Eastern, temporarily until they fill that slot. They're putting our show on there, so that's another time for folks if they want to watch. But of course, we're right here on YouTube. All the programs are here. You can go back and watch any of them. There's 20. This is number 25 coming up. Yeah. So we've been on the air 25 weeks.
Wow.
That's amazing. Almost a half a year now.
Yeah, especially when we really never dreamed we'd ever have this privilege.
Yeah. Okay. So we sure are thankful for those of you who partner with us, those of you that have sent us financial gifts and help.
Yes.
We would not be sitting here if it weren't for your help. And by the way, Doc and I, at this time, we don't get any salary from this. All the money comes in, goes to pay the TV bill. And so anyway, we appreciate everybody that helps out with that.
Amen.
And, so, hey, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button down below, the red button. Click on that. Subscribe to the channel. Share this with your friends. Hit the little bell if you want to get alerts when we come on. And we're just getting started. We got a lot of plans, a lot of things we want to do in the near future. and we're glad to have you on board with us.
Amen.
Okay? So don't miss the show this week. It's going to be exciting. It's going to be helpful. And I really believe it's going to help you sleep better at night. We're going to share some important things that I think will be a help to you. All right, until then, keep your eyes on them skies.